Justin Timberlake, I have absolutely made peace with Janet Jackson after Super Bowl incident after the news broke that Justin Timberlake would headline this year's Super Bowl halftime show. This hashtag started to emerge, hashtag #JusticeForJanet. That's, of course, because during Timberlake's last appearance on the biggest stage in the country, in 2004, he exposed Jackson's breast. Timberlake has not publicly apologized to Jackson for the incident that seemingly sent her career into a free fall, though she's recently been touring. But in a recent Beats One radio interview with Zane Lowe, the bearded, beanie and flannel-wearing man of the woods implied that he had resolved things with Jackson. The conversation about Timberlake's upcoming performance in the one from more than a decade ago started with Timberlake joking about how he's not going to repeat his infamous mistake, and ended with him saying that he absolutely resolved things with Jackson. Here's a snippet from the interview. Low, when you announced you'd headline the halftime show, it brought up the last time for a lot of people again. Timberlake, naturally. I mean, that's something that we talked about. Low, yeah, I bet. So what was the conversation? Timberlake, to be honest, it wasn't too much of a conversation, just one of those things where we go, we're not gonna, what do you want me to say, like we're not gonna do that again? Low, that's so crazy. That is the world's biggest stage, and to come off that stage back then and realize that everything was supposed to go to plan and now the whole thing is something completely different. The rest of the performance must have been like one of those moments as an artist, a human being, where you're like, how do I roll through this? Timberlake, I mean, yeah, and I stumbled through it. You know, to be quite honest, I had my wires crossed. And it's something that you have to look back on and go, like, okay, well, you can't change what's happened, but, you can move forward and learn from it. Low, and you and Janet took some time to do that after the fact and kind of resolve the situation, like we're able to make peace of the whole thing? Timberlake, absolutely, yeah, and I don't know that a lot of people know that. I mean, I don't think it's my job to do that because you value the relationships that you do have with people. Janet Jackson's representatives haven't immediately responded to USA Today's request for comment. Why Justin Timberlake owes Janet Jackson a Super Bowl-size apology. Justin Timberlake needs to apologize to Janet Jackson. He should start apologizing now. With the news that he's confirmed to perform at the 2018 Super Bowl halftime show, he should do so as publicly as possible. And at the very least, he should invite her on stage at the show to perform a song or 10. Those are several demands of the viral hashtag #JusticeForJanet hashtag, which emerged following the news of Timberlake's halftime booking. Because even as Timberlake's career has flourished in the 13 years since Nipplegate, Jackson's fans haven't forgotten that Timberlake is complicit in the unjust treatment of their icon. In a moment that's still painful to watch more than a decade later, Timberlake exposed Jackson's breast during her Super Bowl halftime show in 2004 in front of an audience of 143.6 million viewers. The night was supposed to belong to Jackson, who is the seasoned pop star to Timberlake's rookie. Jackson had invited the then-rising boy band *NSYNC to open for her Velvet Rope tour in 1998. Then lent her vocals to Timberlake's debut album, Justified, after he went solo. Considering how Timberlake has molded himself in Michael Jackson's image from the beginning of his solo career, his Super Bowl cameo was meant to be a reunion with his mentor, a chance for him to pay homage to Janet's pop legacy. Timberlake needs to apologize because he played a role in hijacking this legacy. Starting with the wardrobe malfunction that barely impacted his career while sending Jackson's into free fall in the weeks after the wardrobe malfunction, a phrase that will be forever linked to Jackson's humiliation. She became a comedy punchline and was blacklisted by Viacom, which kept her music off MTV, VH1, and radio stations around the country. There seemed to be no question the incident was Jackson's fault, down to the media outlets that selectively edited or videotaped the apology. Sometimes they cut out that I said it was an accident, she later told Ebony. And while Timberlake has maintained that the incident was an accident, he hasn't taken responsibility for the part he played. I'm frustrated at the whole situation, he told reporters the week after the Super Bowl. I'm frustrated that my character is being questioned. And the fact of the matter is, I've had a good year, a really good year, especially with my music. Timberlake has apologized further in the years since, telling MTV in 2006 that he probably got 10% of the blame, and that America is unfairly harsh on ethnic people, yet he's still unsure how to address the scandal. Bungling an exchange last year when a Twitter follower called on him to stop appropriating our music and culture, and apologize to Janet too. "Oh, you sweet soul," he responded. "The more you realize that we are the same, the more we can have a conversation." By Timberlake is very much not the same. His privilege hasn't only enabled him to score hit albums and film roles and Oscar nominations and a Super Bowl slot, but also lets him play dumb about his own role in a scandal that, as he previously acknowledged, amounted to America piling on a black woman and shaming her for her sexuality while granting him a free pass. And Timberlake needs to apologize now, more than ever, considering how the news of his booking comes during a blistering month for women reckoning with sexual humiliation. In the wake of Harvey Weinstein's downfall, women around the world have continued to share their stories about how men's inappropriate actions ruined their lives. Seeing Timberlake invited back to the Super Bowl while Jackson's career still bears visible scars from the incident is a bitter reminder of which people society punishes more for so-called sexual indiscretions.